Now, any serious biography of Elvis Presley would tell you that Jake Hess was one of Elvis's favorite singers, if not his very favorite one. Whenever Jake and the Statesmen would come to Tupelo to sing, young Elvis always came to see them. Tell me about the early Tupelo days when the Statesmen would come to town, and how old would Elvis have been at that point?
I don't know. He was just a little bright-eyed kid, and they said he never was talkative around people, but he'd come to that record table, you know, where we had our songbooks and pictures and everything, and he'd look at him and say, "How many suits do you have? How many times have you made a recording?" You know, things like that. I mean, he was so inquisitive, his little mind. He had to know what was going on.
Can you still remember the auditorium you performed in there at Tupelo? What was it? Was it a high school building or what?
Yeah, high school, and there was we would just about every 3 months or so we'd go to Tupelo because we'd go to Memphis to the big sing at the Ellis Auditorium, and that was a good date. We'd play on the way to Memphis.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. We really had a crowd, the house full every night, but the house wasn't too large. But it was amazing. We didn't know that was the Elvis that would later move to Memphis and become a star. Until after he had become a star, did we know that was the same kid.
But he showed up at all the programs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can move that mountain, you can move that mountain. Whenever there's a will, there's a way. When your luck begins to slide down the rugged mountainside, now don't let worries cloud your mind with fear. Hold your head up high in the early by and by. All your troubles soon will disappear.
We had the advantage over most groups back in that particular area because we had the Nabisco TV program.
Now, this was a nationally syndicated television program.
Yes, sir. Most of these places where we had never been, they had been watching that TV show for a year or so, and it was very easy for us to go in there.
You would sing the commercials?
Oh, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. The Statesman Quartet, brought to you each week by Nabisco National Biscuit Company, bakers of premium saltines, the saltines that are wrapped to stay fresher.
They're the best you can buy when they're baked by Nabisco.
Jake, as I saw these big buses out here, I remembered our first mode of transportation. It was a Plymouth coupe with a mother-in-law back seat. 3 of us rode up front, and if you were lucky, you got to ride in the back. But anyway, we have traveled many, many miles together, and I am so thankful to God that God has given Jake another second, this may be his 25th wind, I don't know, but he's going again, and I think it's so wonderful. It's this absolute proof. It's absolute proof that God can do anything.
I'll tell you something. There would never have been a Jake Hess as you know him had it not been for Hovey Lister. I tell people that nearly every night when I go out and sing by myself.
This I know, that the time to work and the time to play. Got a Bible's on the way wherever you go. Oh, the Bible told me so. Oh, the Bible told me this I know.
In telling the story of Jake, his years with the Statesmen have to be the centerpiece. He was only 20 when he joined them, and those were extremely important years as Jake laid the foundation, of which made him a role model and a pioneer never to be equaled.
I've been there. I've faced those lonely trials. I've been there. I'm familiar with the miles. So when you're walking through the valley of a heartache once again, you're only going where I've already been. I said, Lord, it's hard to keep from feeling like I do when I question why the test you put me through. Yet in my darkest hour, I've felt a healing power that only comes from walking close to you. He said, child, it's hard to watch the hurt you're going through, and the questions that you ask are nothing new. Sometimes the Father's plan, it's hard to understand. There's been days I felt the same as you. I've been there. I've faced those lonely trials. I've been there. I'm familiar with the nights when you're walking through the valley of a heartache once again. You're only going where I've already been. When you're walking through a valley of a heartache once again, you're only going where I've already been. I've been there.
Jake, in my wildest imagination, I could never believe that one of these days, listening to your records back there in Indiana, in those hay fields of Indiana, we'd be in a beautiful place like this. This is a long way from the hay fields of Indiana.
And it's further than that to Posey's Mill, Alabama.
You know, when I think of places like this, I think of gospel songs that fit this island. What song comes to your mind when you think of this place?
How'd you like to spend eternity on Paradise Island?
Jesus, I believe what you said you do. Jesus, I believe what you said you do. Jesus,
the world should all forsake me.
I believe what you said you do. Jesus,
I will never fear or dread.
I believe what you said you do. Jesus,
For he said that he'd go with me.
I believe what you said you do.
And Jesus, I believe what you said. Though the skies are gray above me, and though I cannot see ahead, yet you promised you'd protect me. And Jesus, I believe what you said. I believe you really love me.
You really love me.
I believe you really care. I believe you died to save me.
You died to save me.